Hi parents, it's Kelly Pfeiffer with Think It Through Parenting, and this video will teach you why saying don't is super confusing for your child. And I'll teach you what works much better instead. So this is a set of slides from slideshare.net that I created a few years back, and so I just wanted to show this and have an audio with it and help you learn even more from the SlideShare. So will you take this parenting challenge to improve your parenting a little bit and learn more? So your challenge is to don't say don't, stop, or or no to your kids for a day. And when I say don't say no, I mean as a command. Your toddler's walking over to the trash can and you say no, or stop, or don't touch that. That's what I'm talking about. If your child says, can I have $1,000? Of course you're going to say no. So this no is a perfectly good answer to a question when the answer is no. But no is not useful as a command. So again, your challenge is just to try this for one day. And I'm going to give you tools to use instead of doing this. So these tools work much better when I use them. So if it sounds impossible, wait, hold on. I've got lots of ideas, actually 2 simple ideas. I said lots is 2. So instead of using the negatives to tell kids what not to do, use the affirmative to help kids know what to do instead. So for example, instead of don't run, you're going to say, hey, walking feet, or let's tiptoe through the parking lot. You're going to help them know what to do instead of what not to do. And I will show you how this works so much better with how the brain works and how your child's brain learns. So here's another example first. Instead of don't smack your food, try please chew with your mouth closed. It's the same type of information, but we're using an affirmative to give helpful information, to give useful information to your child. So this is your beginner skill. So for today, if you would like to take the challenge, change your don'ts to do commands. So if you want to advance your skills, then I've got some questions that you can ask your child that will help your child start saying what to do. So instead of it coming out of your mouth, it's going to come out of your child's mouth. And this is so much more helpful for your child to learn new skills and remember to do things. When we talk as parents, we're doing the reminding, we're taking all the responsibility for it. But this advanced level, this way of asking questions, will put some of the responsibility on your child. So the first piece of responsibility is your child has to think of what the answer is to the question. And that is building a pathway for learning that skill or remembering that guideline in your child's brain. When it comes out of their mouths, that is building the pathway. When it comes out of your mouth, number one, your child could be listening or not listening. They could tune you out. They could only hear a few words. And secondly, it just, even if they hear what you say, the whole thing, still you're doing most of the work. Their brain is not having to do any problem solving, any thinking skills, and that's not building a memory pathway in your child's brain. So there's a certain way you're going to ask questions. Let's learn that next. Because asking the right questions is going to get that problem solving going on. And again, saying the words helps your child know what to do the next time. And just because they say it once, I mean, that may help some kids. And then some kids may have to be reminded by you asking this question, say 10, 20, even 30 times in context before the pathway is paved all the way so that the child remembers it. But you're going to ask questions that begin with the words what, or how. And you can also add when in there, but start with what and how. So you're not going to say, do you want to chew with your mouth closed? That's a yes or no type answer. Those are not the types of questions that are helpful. So start with a what or a how. Instead of don't run, how do we travel safely in the parking lot? Or how can you travel safely in the parking lot? And this is best said before you get out of the car. So lots of times parents will park the car and then turn around and say to a child, a young child, remember, hold my hand and use your walking feet when we go into the store. But if you ask, how do you travel safely in the parking lot? Then your 4-year-old actually has to think. I hold your hand and say, I hold your hand and I will use my walking feet. And that is making their brain do some of the work and again, building that pathway for memory. So sometimes we do too much for kids when we're reminding them. We can ask them. All right, here's one more example. Instead of don't smack your food, try how can you chew so that others can't hear you? Or how can you chew quietly? Again, we're using the what or the how at the beginning, and then there's an answer. And for this particular question, the child may not even need to verbally answer. Maybe they have recognition and close, your son closes his mouth. So that's still building that pathway. They had to think, what do I need to do, and execute it. So what questions, how questions. You could also ask a when question. When is this show going to be over so you can clean up all the toys that you got out to play while you're watching the show? When can you get your homework done today? When are you going to get your homework done? What is your plan for getting your homework done? And your child is going to have to say something. Like, you're not going to just accept, I'll get it done, Mom. No. What is your plan? Tell me your plan. Okay, what time? And where are you going to do it? So where is another word you can use at the beginning. So would you like one more extra tip? Tone and choice of words are super, super important. So when you're asking these questions, we could ask them in a very annoyed tone. We could use some sarcastic language. We could use some put downs. When are you going to get off your butt and clean up these blankety blank toys? But just using the question what or how alone might not be helpful if your tone and your language aren't in alignment with it. So we're going to convey respect, and that is going to guarantee not guarantee, but you're going to have the odds of much more success. Nothing is guaranteed in parenting. Now, if you've been a parent for a while, you know this. Nothing ever works 100% of the time. That's because there's so many variables in each situation. So why is this tool of don't important? Again, I told you it was confusing. I'm also going to do a little demonstration with you right now. So I'll click the next slide. Don't think about pink elephants. Don't think about pink elephants. Don't think about pink elephants. Did you picture a pink elephant in your mind, even if it was just for a second? Most people do. It's the power of suggestion. With our language, we have the power to plant ideas in our kids' heads. You have this power. So what do you want to plant? So when your child hears don't hit, often they're getting a picture in their minds of hitting. Don't touch that. Touch, especially with toddlers. I've heard parents say, I told my toddler, don't touch that. And they reached over and smiled and touched it. Well, maybe they really are not ready to put together the language. Do not do this. Two verbs going together is really challenging for a toddler. So we can put images by what we say. We can plant these ideas in our kids' heads by what we say. So if you say don't hit, like I said before, don't anything, often your child's going to get the picture in his brain of whatever you said don't do. So what images do we want to plant in our child's brain? It's on the successful moment. Say, what do you need to do to clean up these toys? And the child could say, I need a big basket to put them all in, or I need a dustpan to scoop up these Legos with. They're going to have to do some problem solving and answer, and that's going to build the pathway for learning and doing it better the next time and remembering how to do it the next time. So this was the first parenting challenge I ever sent out on my email list. And so if you'd like to join my mailing list, I send out a weekly parenting challenge. It's weekly, so it's once a week. So it's a small challenge, a small way to improve your parenting, either with your language or your actions, or just the way you're thinking about your parenting and thinking about your children when you're talking to them. Some of the changes that we have to make are just shifts in our head, shifts in our mindset. But if you would like a weekly parenting challenge in your email box, then I'll put the link below this video. Also, I'll put a link to my Facebook page. Again, I'm Kelly Pfeiffer with Think It Through Parenting. I'm a positive discipline lead trainer, and I've been teaching face-to-face parenting classes, positive discipline parenting classes to parents for 17 years. I've raised my 2 children with positive discipline, and then 10 years ago, I became a stepmom to 2 teenagers. So I have been using positive discipline with them for 10 years. Well, now they're young adults. But this is one of the tools that helped me so much, no matter what age my kids were. So I'll put some links below. And also, if you like this video, click the like button below. And you can also click the subscribe button so you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. So parents, I wish you all the best and with this parenting challenge. And remember just to slow down and stop and think instead of what not to do. What can I tell my child to do? That's your first step to changing your don'ts into do's. And then remember that third step is asking what and how questions. Have a great week.